Hi, my name's John, and I'm one of the web guys. I'd like to tell you about our amazing product that I'm certain you'll love. There are lots of companies out there who offer website and business tools, from the very cheap do-it-yourself to the very expensive bespoke products. What we offer at the Web Guys is a unique package that we're sure will cater to all your business's needs. We'll deliver a world-class website that's created specifically for you and your business and with everything you need to manage it. It's so simple. All you have to do is choose a look and we'll do everything else. We'll design, build, set up and customize your website for you. You'll get that agency quality product from £29.99 a month and with no upfront fees to pay. To take advantage of our fantastic product, go to www.thewebguys.co.uk and simply click the Sign Up Now button and follow the instructions, which will only take a few minutes of your valuable time. Once you're done, you'll get all this plus lots more, and from only £29.99 per month. So, what are you waiting for?
Good morning, everyone. Can you believe it? Once again, it's Wednesday morning. It's 10 o'clock. It's time for our weekly In Conversation With. Today, I have the pleasure of being joined by Dawn and Tony Pratt from Utilinet. Good morning, guys. Thank you very much.
Good morning to you.
Time out to join me today. So please tell the world who you are and all that wonderful stuff, so we can get to know you really well.
As the elder statesman here, I'll make a start. Is that first of all, we've been married for nearly 30 years.
Wonderful.
And we have 4 children, none of which appear to want to leave home, and all of which seem to want to have the bank of mum and dad at their instant disposal.
Absolutely.
And when I think back, because I now go back a very long way, they've all got cars, so prior to that, I retired from policing nearly 30 years ago. So I have the really distinct pleasure of serving with South Yorkshire Police for 30 years, from 61 to 91. And I've now, this year, in August, I'll have been drawing a fantastic pension for 30 years. I don't know where it's gone. 30 years, almost as long as I served. It's just fabulous. I'll leave my pension slip around for the kids to look at. And say, look, this is what you get if you invest in pension. But they're never going to have a pension. Mortality is not. They're never going to get old. They never want a pension. So 30 years policing left me as a police superintendent when I was once, but only once, important. And now I'm just a dad and a taxi driver and a funder of various projects.
I think you're understanding yourself there, Tony. You're far more than that. And can I just say, well, thank you for your service. And with lots of us will have watched Line of Duty, so we're getting probably no insight whatsoever in what your life has been like. But,
not at all.
And Dawn still thinks by saving on a sale, she's saving money. And I still think it's an expenditure. Those two things have never aligned together.
So wonderful. Thanks, Tony. What about you, Dawn? Tell us much more about yourself.
Well, I think Tony's already encapsulated our history, as it were. And as a result of that, and our expenditure, of course, I have Utilinet as a business. We're an energy broker, and we specialise in business energy, and literally all things business energy,
Sure.
From infrastructure to pricing and anywhere in between. I have a whole range of clients that I look after. And when I say I look after, I don't just mean I ring them up when I want to say, do you want a contract? What about this? Please sign it. I offer a fully managed service. So I like to think that if there's a problem, I'll help you resolve it. And I can't always promise you like the answers that I'll get for you, but I will get you the answers for it in the end. So yeah, we've been in the business now about 10 years, and it's just grown and grown and grown in every sense of the word. And of course, it's an ever-changing industry as well, particularly before lockdown, during, and now afterwards. You know, we have the aftermath of that, and really what you might say, the penalties that businesses is about to pay, really.
Sure. So just so we can sort of clarify for people who are watching this, that you basically do business and you don't deal with normal household consumer energy stuff.
No. And in fact, that's a really good point to make. I don't deal with domestic energy. I mean, obviously with my clients, I'm always happy to advise and give them my best advice on that.
Sure.
But you can't really meddle in domestic energy. It is a different entity altogether. And I would say that 99.9% of my clients think it's very much the same, but it isn't at all.
No.
You know, it's not purchased in a different way, and it's not sold in the same way either. And I know everybody will not feel like this is the case, but the domestic client is much better protected than
Sure.
the business client. You know, and in a way that's where we come in with our expertise and help and guidance and recommendations, really.
Sure. It makes sense as well.
Brian, what you have in the energy market is like a spot market, or it's like a stock exchange. You know, the prices differ from time to time. So in broker terms, we are what everybody understands as a broker, your insurance broker, whatever broker it is. It's our job to link up with 22, 23 different suppliers and to see which best suits the client, and then to find the best 4, 5, 6 competitive deals that they want to offer the client.
Sure.
So that's our job, and we might well send a communication through saying it's this price and need to look at it today, because tomorrow it might be a different price.
Of course, volatile market, I suppose. I suppose again, with you being in it for a decade, you know, the difference in the energy world back then compared to today, it's seen a monumental shift, really, hasn't it?
Absolutely massive, and beyond what I would have anticipated, really. I mean, just by example, and not really to bore everybody, but in 2015 there was a government white paper that was suggesting that the energy market would increase by 50% in the year 2020, and I thought, really, 50%? Surely there's an element of exaggeration there, and it's been absolutely spot on.
Sure.
It has increased by 50%. And of course, a lot of people do get confused in that sense. It depends when you secured your contract, how long it was for, what kind of product it was. You know, there are so many different products out there. And again, even in business, you know, the business owners don't realize that there are so many different products out there. And it's understandable that everybody's looking for the cheapest price. But in this industry, sometimes the cheapest isn't actually the cheapest, depending on how it's presented to you. So, you know, I do try and eradicate a lot of the smoke and mirrors that are common sales tactics, really.
The energy companies, Brian, are really good at smoke and mirrors. You know, if you can wrap it up in different words so that they think they're saving and they're spending some money, they're really good at it.
Sure. So let's just break it down even further, because we use the word, you know, utilities, you know, and energy. What does that actually mean in terms? So we're talking electricity, we're talking gas, sort of specifically.
Primarily gas and electricity. You know, we can look at water, but that tends to be less of a priority for most clients because it's cheaper and it's not usually a major expenditure. We can look at that, but it's not fully deregulated yet, so the savings there are minimal. Right. You know, the wholesale prices remain the same throughout the UK, so that's why it is like it is. We can look at telecoms as well, but again, for some of my clients, it's a small priority. So primarily gas and electricity, but I can also get prices for any number of other things, really. You know, my client just needs to ask and use that as part of the conversation, really, if they have any other pinch points, really, you know, areas that they'd like to look at that they haven't looked at before, or it's been too hard to do, which very often, certainly gas and electricity will fall into that category.
I think, Brian, that what we try to do is just focus on where we're most comfortable instead of diluting our expertise, really.
No, it makes sense.
there's all sorts of people want to sell credit cards, but we're stuck with gas and electricity. We know the market. We know where the best deals are. The service that we give is free because we take a commission from the supplier that the customer doesn't pay for, and that's where we concentrate our expertise really. And all the opportunities we've been presented to sell other things, we tend to disregard, to be honest.
Sure. I think that makes a lot of sense. We do the same in many senses, is that stick to what you know, stick to what you're an expert at, and do that really, really well. So I think that's a great thing. So just to everyone who's watching, thank you for joining us. If you have any questions to Don or Tony about energy overall, please put your questions into the comments boxes. Please like and share this. If Don and Tony knows how to answer the questions here live, they will do it the best ability. If not, then we will come back to you after the live stream and answer your questions after. So again, as well, Tony and Don are on LinkedIn. They're on Facebook, Utilinet as well. Go and check them out. Please follow and like them. I've got a question for you. I'm hoping I'm putting you a little bit on the spot here, because obviously the big thing at the moment is green energy, isn't it? You know, everyone wants to be environmentally friendly and green and all that kind of stuff. I'm a sort of avid follower of Elon Musk and Tesla. You know, he's quite a controversial character, not unlike yourself, Tony. But
so what's he doing with Bitcoin then, Brian?
Oh my God, let's not get into that. But one of the things, I saw this very interesting interview where he was being interviewed about energy and energy consumption and green energy. And he made a statement I found really quite interesting, saying that if America put up a solar panel grid, 100 kilometers square, then that would be able to produce 110% of all energy needs in the US. So completely replace all fossil fuels and burning of any sort of gas and fuels and stuff. What's your view and what's your experience with this whole green energy market? Is it a market that you've seen that's growing in the UK? Are people asking for it? What's your sort of view on this whole solar stuff?
Brian, solar was very vogue 2 or 3 years ago. And then the government changed the, I think, FIT charges that they were paying, and it's disappeared. Solar has disappeared from a request from us or from anybody who wants to promote it.
Right. So you don't get any people asking you for solar or green energy and stuff like that?
Personally, very, very few. Some, let's say, some of my clients might have already done it independently. Obviously, some of my clients don't know that we can accommodate solar, LED, any number of other things. And as I say, you know, all things energy. I don't personally have expertise in that, but part of my team do. So you could say, if I don't have a direct answer to the question, part of my team will, and you know, they have their own specialities, which we can accommodate. And we did have a big push for that a few years ago, and we did have a little bit of uptake. But as I say, some clients had already done it. Some clients are not interested at all. And of course, now the incentives are much less than what they were. And, you know, in day-to-day business, it's very, very difficult to focus people's minds on it. And until they decide that they want it, you can't sort of say, well, think about this as a good idea. Well, what does it involve? And it does involve just a little bit of time to meet, to find out what the requirements are, to put the details together, then to make the recommendations. And on a personal note, as I say, a lot of my clients have said, well, I just don't want to get involved unless I have to. And it's a bit like the whole concept of, let's say, green energy prices. You know, everybody understands it's a price, it's green energy. And I do have some people come forward and say, oh, I'm interested in green prices. Can you get those as well? But when it comes to the bottom line, you know, often they just want the very cheapest, and they don't want to pay more for the same gas and electricity as they use it. And that's quite understandable. Yeah. You know, so the whole idea of being more eco-friendly, and it is a broad term, I accept that, and I know there's you know, international debate about those things. But when you're dealing on the ground with people who are running the business, they're short of time. They're keen to keep cash flow down, and they certainly don't want to spend lots of money on their gas and electricity.
No,
they need it, but is it something that you'd prefer to buy? The answer's no.
Sure.
So in that regard, some of the my larger companies are invested in that and move forward with that. And again, we have a specialist team that deals with those things, from the small CHP units to much larger units where you can convert. And it tends to be the big multinationals that have a bigger investment, but on ground level, it's difficult.
Yeah, no, I get that. I suppose, the larger companies, they have budgets because they have to be ethically correct and be seen to be.
Absolutely. They have to be compliant.
Brian, could I just deal with some of the pain points as a business owner that people go through is that inevitably they'll get a renewal notice for their gas and electricity. It's every bit of it in business is contractual. So they're going to sign up for 1 year or 2 years or 3 years or 4 years or 5 years. And the incumbent supplier will give them a price for renewal. And in many cases, that renewal notice will go in the too hard to do tray because it's messing about, it's another action, and there's a job to be getting with and work. I've got lots of people to look after. What happens if they let it go out of contract date? It goes into a different rate called.
You get deemed rates.
A deemed rate, which is more expensive than you were paying before because you're not entered into a contract. So the business owner needs to know when the contract ends and does something when it arrives.
Sure.
Because 2 years ago, 3 years ago will be a different price to what they will pay today, probably more today. And if we could, so he or she then can actually ring round 10, 15 suppliers, or they can go to a broker who will provide a free service and give them the best price.
Sure.
So when they've got that best price and they've chosen whether to have a 1 year contract, 2 year contract, or 3 year contract, whatever best suits them, then inevitably in the twists and turns of business life, but we'll be there at the end of it. We've kept customers because we give them a service, not because we give them a contract.
Yeah.
Because the ups and downs of I've had this letter in, what does this mean? That's why we've kept a really good business from a company that does an £86 million turnover to a guy that we talked to this morning that does nowhere near an £86 million turnover. So we've kept it on service and expertise, really. Where to go?
Sure.
Oh, I'm nearly exhausted now.
That was good. So just to finish off this whole green piece, because when I get letters from whoever supplies me my gas, electricity at the moment, when they quote me new rates, they state how big a percentage of the energy I receive is from renewable energy. What's that all about? Does that mean that they? I don't know. Does that mean they have solar farms, or how does that work?
I think it's a bit more complicated than that, and that's not my level of expertise as far as what portion is green energy. And in fact, you did touch on something that I was going to research and make a blog about, because I do like to keep our website updated. And in fact, the Sunday Times, obviously there are other newspapers to read, but I was reading the Sunday Times and I actually cut the article out, and whereby, I suppose in a way, it was just simply calling out some of the suppliers that said what was their green energy, and it was looking at the point where it was what was truly green and what wasn't.
Sure.
And in fact, looking at how easy it was to obtain a license, so you can say that you're providing green energy. So, even if I was to say, oh well, yes, that's exactly what this means, there's a whole new there's a whole new debate out there of who are actually offering true green and who have just got green licenses and offering a very small amount of green energy. So it is an interesting question, and that will prompt me now to actually go and research that some more, and then I shall put a blog post about it, and perhaps take a little photograph of the article from the Times.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's really quite interesting, because me as an end consumer of gas and electricity and whatever it is we get coming into the house, I really have no idea. But it looks really quite smart, and it's presented in a clever way. So by picking that option as perhaps not the cheapest option, it makes me feel really good. But is it actually what it says it is?
Well, quite.
I knew you'd be trouble, Brian.
Yeah.
I just knew it. I knew at the start this you'd be trouble.
And hey, if I've inspired you, Don, with content.
Oh no, that's right. I do get asked all sorts of questions, and obviously I don't know the answer to every single question, but you can guarantee I know somebody that does. Yeah. And I'll go and find out. I mean, that's another point as well. If somebody asks me a question and I don't know the answer, I will say, I don't know, but I'll find out and I'll get back to you. Let's have a look at it. Or, occasionally things change, the the rules and regulations change, what suppliers offer change, what they're prepared to take changes. So, in fact, over the last few months, it's been changing on a daily basis. So sometimes you can answer one way and then find out actually it's been tweaked slightly. So you need to amend that. So especially in this industry, there's no point in saying to somebody, oh, well, making it up, really. I'm not in the business of making it up to fit what I'm trying to say. If somebody's got a genuine problem and a genuine question, we'll look to sort it out.
Yeah. And I think, with all of us, we've been doing what we're doing for many years, but we don't know everything all the time, and as you say, the goalpost keeps moving, stuff develops and all that kind of stuff. So the best we can do is to say to everyone, please come with all your questions and we will figure it out. We will help you, we'll figure it out. So listen, Don, Tony, you have been brilliant as always. I can't stress enough to anyone who watches this video, that's going to be obviously stay on our social media, and Don and Tony will have it on theirs as well going forward. So please follow them on LinkedIn, Facebook, anywhere you can. Go and check them out on their website. It's very knowledgeable people. I couldn't recommend these guys enough. So Tony, Don, thank you very much for joining me here for this little live chat today. It's been an absolute pleasure. I very much appreciate you taking time out of your holiday to come live with me today. That's very kind of you to do so.
Brian, thank you very much.
That's good. So everyone else, thank you very much for watching. That's it for us today. Join me again next week. I'm going to be joined by a guy called Gary Brown. He owns a company called Let's Do Business. He is a sales expert who actually does the selling for you. So join me for that next Wednesday at 10 o'clock. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Please like and share our stuff here, and we shall see you all again next week.